So I get it. You don't want to use the formula necessarily because that hasn't gone so well, but it sounds like you do want to use some of the tools of NVC and you're looking for a way to do that might go better. What often helps me is to move into sort of the witnessing, observing self and to watch the situation as it playing out in front of me in its default mode. And my first move is I'm here to witness and become aware of the present state. I don't have to do anything about the present state in the early stages. Then I'm going to go home and I'm going to reflect. I'm going to bring myself back to life. I'm going to ask myself, what was the thing that they actually said or didn't say? How was I feeling? What am I really needing? What am I wanting? I'm going to take the other person's point of view. What were they probably feeling? What were they trying to say? What did they mean when they said that? What is it that they could be wanting? And then I give myself permission to revisit those moments with people all the time with spaciousness and no urgency and no pressure, with a lot of curiosity. And when you're in a position of power and you're a manager or you're a leader, this approach actually builds much more trust and cooperation over the long run than having the perfect words in the moment right away. That will come with time, but you don't need that in order to fundamentally shift the culture that you're trying to shift. Let me offer some language. Tell me if this works or doesn't work. If it doesn't, we'll try something else. But often I think it sounds a little bit like, hey, do you have 5 minutes? There's something from the meeting we had on Monday that's sticking with me, and I just need a little more understanding. I remember when you said blah, blah, blah. Did you mean this or did you mean this? I want to make sure that I'm not misinterpreting. I want to make sure that I'm not taking something personally that isn't personal. I'm wanting to really get at what it is that would help you in this moment. I'm not sure I understand that yet. The more you can put on the table your intention, why you're doing it, and your intention as a leader, I would always recommend it's about meeting the needs of the people who report to you, not about them meeting your needs. You always start with an interest as the person with more structural power in really caring for and meeting the needs of the people with less structural power. That's how you, in a sense, earn the right to ask for something back, but it starts by filling them up first. So it's always I think you were asking for blah, 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 or I think you might be needing more of blah, blah, blah. Am I aligned or not? I want to make sure that I'm understanding so that I know how to help. I'm wanting to make sure that there isn't a disconnect between what it is that you're needing and how I'm managing. I'm really trying to get more aligned and attuned. And with such a diverse workplace or with all these different people, I just sometimes feel like it's helpful to check in so that I'm not misinterpreting or projecting things onto you that are not there. What you're wanting is to inspire goodwill and inspire care. And when there are structural differences in power, it is difficult for people with less power to have empathy for people with more power. So when you have more power, the more you can rehumanize yourself and really forefront care for all, it can help. And the vulnerability of just being willing to be human with them. And you can tell yourself, I'm modeling the kind of culture that I want. I want a learning and growth culture. I want a relational culture. I want a co-creative culture. So I'm going to model it. And it's countercultural. So of course you feel some tension and fear about it because you're breaking the rules of domination systems. And do it to the degree that you feel comfortable, and then don't do it when it's too much. Work with yourself in your window of tolerance there. But of course it's going to be scary. Yeah, that's not something wrong with you. I think that's kind of a self-protective wisdom to be careful a little bit, just know that you're getting data about where somebody is, and then let that be. Work with it, play with it, let them be where they are.